Welcome back to Famezy, where we bring you the stories that matter most to America. Tonight, we begin with urgent developments following the shocking assassination of conservative activist Charlie Kirk. Earlier today, President Trump addressed reporters, pledging swift justice and vowing that his administration will track down everyone involved, not just the shooter, but also any network supporting acts of political violence. His remarks came as the nation grapples with grief and disbelief over the attack. Meanwhile, law enforcement agencies remain on high alert. The FBI has identified a person of interest, described as college-aged, who was seen blending in with students on campus in Utah where the shooting took place. Authorities released images to the public and announced a $100,000 reward for any information leading to an arrest. Investigators have already recovered what they believe to be the murder weapon, a high-powered bolt-action rifle discovered in a wooded area not far from the crime scene. FBI Director Kash Patel and Deputy Don Bongino are now traveling to Utah to oversee the investigation. Officials had initially planned to hold a press conference this afternoon, but it was abruptly canceled as the investigation shifted direction. Sources indicate that Patel and Bongino's arrival may bring new developments, suggesting that critical evidence has been uncovered. On campus at Utah Valley College, the scene is somber. The tent where Charlie Kirk had been hosting his well-known "Prove Me Wrong" table remains standing now, a grim reminder of the tragedy. Students, faculty, and community members have left tributes, turning the site into both a memorial and a rallying cry for justice. Charlie Kirk, who began his activism at a young age, was known for his relentless energy, his ability to connect with people, and his vision for reshaping conservative politics. Friends and colleagues have shared emotional tributes, recalling his persistence, his loyalty, and the millions he inspired. Katie Pavlis, speaking earlier, described Kirk as a friend of many people and someone whose influence will ripple across generations. The search for the suspect continues tonight, and officials remain confident. With surveillance footage, eyewitness testimony, and forensic evidence, including the weapon and potential fingerprints, investigators believe they are closing in. Yet for now, the shooter remains at large, and the country remains on edge. This tragedy is not just about the loss of one man, but about the broader state of political violence in America. Conservatives across the country are demanding accountability and an end to the escalating hostility. As Greg Gutfeld commented during a Fox News discussion, if you want to kill an idea, the worst thing you can do is kill the person behind it, because that only makes the idea stronger. As we await further word from President Trump and updates from the FBI, one thing is clear: Charlie Kirk's legacy will not be erased by this act of cowardice. His assassination may, in fact, become a rallying point for millions of Americans who share his passion for freedom and his determination to defend their beliefs. The aftermath of Charlie Kirk's assassination is unfolding in real time, and across the nation, reactions are pouring in. Leaders, commentators, and everyday Americans are united in calling this crime what it is: an attack not just on one individual, but on the principles of free speech and political expression. Katie Pavlis spoke from personal experience, noting how Kirk chose activism over college and built his own movement from scratch. She remembered his outreach to young conservatives and his tireless work to connect with people across the country. He didn't have the courage to use words to fight Charlie Kirk, Pavlis said of the shooter. Instead, he used a gun and ran away. That's the definition of weakness. Her words reflect the anger and determination of many Americans tonight. Greg Gutfeld added his perspective, warning that heated rhetoric in the media has consequences. He argued that labeling political opponents as Nazis or fascists has created an environment where violence becomes thinkable to those who are radicalized. In his words, "This isn't just about evil people, it's about people being brainwashed through constant repetition of dangerous narratives. The nation has seen this pattern before. From the attempted assassination of Congressman Steve Scalise to violent confrontations on college campuses, each incident raises the same question: how can a country dedicated to free debate fall victim to acts of political terror?" President Trump's firm response has reassured many. In his Oval Office address, he promised not only to pursue the killer, but to dismantle the organizations and movements that enable such violence. His vow to act decisively has resonated with millions who feel that the nation's patience with political extremism has run out. On social media, tributes to Charlie Kirk continue to spread. Many describe him as a fighter who never backed down from a challenge, someone who inspired younger generations to engage in politics and defend their values. His death has become a lightning rod, igniting conversations about unity, resilience, and the dangers of unchecked hatred. The larger issue, however, is what comes next. Will this tragedy usher in a period of reflection and restraint, or will it fuel more division and hostility? That question remains unanswered. What we know tonight is that Charlie Kirk's ideas and the movement he helped build are more alive than ever. His assassination has, ironically, given them a new momentum. For millions of Americans watching this unfold, one message stands out. Freedom of speech and political participation cannot be silenced through violence. If anything, the opposite is true. Such acts only strengthen the resolve of those who remain, as the FBI closes in on the suspect, and the White House prepares further statements. The nation waits, united in grief, but determined not to be intimidated. Charlie Kirk's name, his work, and his impact will live on. And in the words of those who knew him best, his legacy will outlast the hatred that took his life. This is Famezy, keeping you updated with truth, clarity, and the stories that shape America. Stay with us for continuing coverage.